Toy Mantis here, doing a new video. I haven't been face to face in a while. I'm kind of doing something different. I'm standing up. Usually I kind of sit down, but I notice sometimes I kind of just rock and, I just do some weird stuff. So I kind of figured, let me try standing up. I can move my hands all around like I usually do, a little grabby. So, I wanted to do this video though because we have so many DC figures, and McFarlane has one more year left for the DC Multiverse license before Mattel gets it back, and then we probably start brand new again with something else. So what I wanted to do was kind of show through McFarlane's collection by like sections a little bit, maybe give a little rating saying if you're trying to collect this, this is probably the best line to do so with. Because McFarlane, he'll do like, you got 500 Batman, but you only have one member of the Legion of Superheroes. We're getting two, but again, it's like when you jump into this line, do you want to go and jump in and collect it for this reason or this reason? Some reasons are better than others. And then you of course have Mattel, who has their stuff too. Maybe I'll do another video on that, future video. But this one, I'm going to specifically focus on McFarlane's figures, kind of just look at certain team setups. If you're someone who wants to jump in, or if you've been in the line, missed out on some figures, McFarlane has released a lot of figures. And because of the scale, they take up a little bit more space. So you can't buy them all, essentially. I mean, you could, but let's be real here. You're not going to have as much display space to make things look great. Sometimes they're cluttered. I have a lot of space, but it looks cluttered because I have a lot of lines, and I just, there's certain things I had to quit, like Death Metal, for example. That's a set that McFarlane really completed at the beginning. I had it, but I never even read the comics. I just thought they looked cool. And that's also what we were only getting with DC. Eventually, I just said, you know what, I'm really not into this, and so the speed metal, all the metal stuff is gone. But McFarlane was able to do that and make it a nice, complete set. So if that's something you're into, death metal is definitely something to get, since it's really like a nice completion almost, right? And again, I don't read it, so maybe there's a missing character or two, I'm not sure, but McFarlane hasn't touched those in a couple of years, so I imagine it's done or whatever. So yeah, I wanted to go through the collection a little bit. Well, McFarlane only, so don't worry, I'm not gonna try to take everything. But yeah, I want to go through and kind of just give like a rating. If you're trying to collect all these Batman, certain teams, what are you gonna get? I really want to say this, just to kind of show that, and since I have quite a bit here, I think this is gonna be fun. So yeah, let's go and cut to it. Okay, first up, let's start with the Batman universe. Now, the Batman universe of figures that we have tons of villains and allies and Batman's himself, but let's just think of one for this moment. The Batman universe, you get a lot of characters. You got Two-Face, Mr. Freeze, you got Mr. Zsasz, you got some really good reach of characters that just were never really made before. Some you do get again, but there were some that you just really didn't get to have. So for this one, I would give it a 8 out of 10 because you're still missing quite a few other Batman villains. I mean, we are getting Mr. Pig, but there is just some other ones that we should still get. And let's also think about the other thing that kind of gives me 8 out of 10 for this is, I want my Hugo Strange and I want my Black Mask. I don't want them as Batman. I mean, I get it. It's essential to like stories and stuff like that. And it is cool to kind of get it out there. But if McFarlane ends the line next year and there's no regular like scientist Hugo Strange or, just a suited Black Mask, I just think that's just a terrible, terrible decision. But yeah, if you want to get the Batman figures, definitely recommended because you get a good set. Okay, now let's talk Superman's little kind of local characters, right? Superman's rogues and such, allies. Superman has a few characters. Now, it was kind of a slow build to Superman's world, though, and it still is. There's not that many figures you do get for Superman-related characters. I would honestly give this a 5 out of 10, just because there is so much more. There's Parasite, there's things like that, and there's just characters that are just missing. And let's not forget the Metallo that we got. And now let's just talk Batmans. Now, Batman's entirely. Now, I know there might be some other characters in this shelf here, but let's just focus on the Batmans here. The Batmans from McFarlane are amazing. They're probably the best part of McFarlane's DC Multiverse, not because of character selection or whatever, suit versions, not because they're really great, but because if you're someone who really wants to have every single Batman version and kind of looks similar standing next to some of the other stuff, you're going to get a great big number of Batmans. Like, you're going to have the largest collection of Batmans through McFarlane. I don't think you can't get that through Mattel. You can't get that anywhere else. So this is a 10 out of 10 from McFarlane. Another 10 out of 10 would be the amount of Supermans you can get. There is so many Supermans from McFarlane. It wasn't as big as Batman, but obviously this year it grew exceptionally bigger because of the movie. So again, another 10 out of 10. You just can't get this many Superman figures. The JSA. Now, the JSA was a team building very slowly with McFarlane. Until about last year, I think, that's when we started seeing a lot of them popping up. Actually, I think about the summer of 23, that's when Alan Scott came out. And then I think since then, it's just been consistent releases of JSA members and trying to get them released through McFarlane. So this is I would say, a 8 out of 10. I think there's definitely more coming, so I think that's why I'm going to give it that kind of high number. If we wanted to say exactly where it's currently at, then I guess 7. But, yeah, like JSA, McFarlane's been building it pretty well, and we're going to get a few other figures for sure. So, yeah, JSA, definitely worth it. Mattel did quite a few as well, so it's kind of almost balanced. Like, if you want to just look really quick here, it's almost like an even balance at this point. But, there's definitely going to be more, so McFarlane could possibly beat out Mattel. Unless Mattel, takes it back. Well, when Mattel takes it back, will they do the JSA members justice there again? Up next is the Teen Titans. Please mind my plastic man chilling in the back here. I'm still trying to readjust parts of my shelf. But, we got Teen Titans, and this is a set that McFarlane's been releasing Teen Titans throughout the years, kind of coming from different versions, though. Like, we got, like the classic kind of looking ones, and then now this year we're kind of getting back into the animated versions from the Teen Titans show. So, we're kind of mixed through. I'd say I'd give this a 7 out of 10 because there's just mixtures throughout the line. So hopefully Mattel could do a better job, because I wasn't too big of a fan of them with the DCUC as well. Like, I think there could be a bit more. Like, there's some good character selections. We got like the Tempest here. That's something I always felt was needed for Teen Titans. Moving on to the next one, Green Lanterns. Now, Green Lantern, we got a little bit of a world building here. So you had to buy a few extras and do some customizations to make it kind of happen. Otherwise, the show would be a lot smaller. But you do get some great looking figures here. If you're a Green Lantern fan, I think you would love having McFarlane's versions of these figures. Again, I had to use some customization, so some of these are actually not available to buy. You'd have to make it yourself. But, we do have a wide variety of, Green Lantern related characters. Now, we also have a wide variety of Green Lantern characters missing, though. There is just way too many characters that need to get made. And that's one thing I felt that Mattel didn't do either. There's just so many, and you got D-list characters and such, but I think those are the most fun. And I think Mattel needs to definitely take the lead on Green Lantern. You got Green Lantern show coming out next year, and obviously Mattel ain't gonna take it until about a year after that, but you still have that coming out, and it still might bring some kind of audience. So overall, though, I give this a 5 out of 10. There's just so many missing. Not that I'm saying this is so bad, but you're not going to get everyone you really need. I'm really hoping the last year of McFarlane, he will make as many Lantern-related characters. We are getting La Freeze, So let's get that Saint Walker, Indigo, let's get Bleeze, let's get them all, guys. So I want to see McFarlane really push the pedal down for Green Lantern next year. Moving on to The Flash. Now, The Flash has quite a few characters as well. Definitely more than what Mattel did. But, you know, there's just still a lot that I think that could also get made. We need like a classic Heat Wave and Trickster. I would love like Gorilla Grodd that doesn't have armor on. But like I like the sculpt of this one. But yeah, the Flash stuff, I'd say 6 out of 10. There's just some good stuff, but it could definitely be better. It could be better. And here we have the Super Friends / Super Powers shelf. I mean, this would be a lot less if it was kind of focusing on, you know, just the Super Friends. But, you know, with these ones, I love the classic suits. Certainly not enough of them. I would give this probably a 6 out of 10. I think we're getting there, but there's just so much still missing, and we have to get those other characters to really make this shelf feel complete. Then we got the Legion of Superheroes. I might give this a 1 out of 10. There's Mattel did this way better. They had a 12 pack. They just kind of rushed it out, and everyone got to have a nice kind of complete looking team. Not complete, but you know what I mean. They had a lot of members, and that was a great thing from Mattel. And I hope to see Mattel kind of take another crack at Legion of Superheroes in another kind of way. But yeah, Mattel did a better job. McFarlane, yeah, like they just kind of slumped that one up. The theatrical side of the DC multiverse. Now, this is something McFarlane excelled at. Now, at the beginning, the figures were kind of shit on the head sculpt, but they massively improved. And then you also just start getting these great vehicles and characters that we just thought we would never get. Like, I never dreamt of getting a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman, or a Jim Carrey Riddler, or, you know, Tommy Lee Jones T-Face. I did not expect to see a freaking duck. This is a 9 out of 10. Now, the only reason why it's not a 10 out of 10 is just because McFarlane is missing the essential characters for some stuff. Like, okay, Ra's al Ghul. I need to have him for the 7-inch. Like there's the Jack Nicholson Joker. I mean, obviously, I think that's a rumor that we might be getting it, so we'll see. But there's just some of those missing characters that definitely need to see in the update, and I will also hit McFarlane with not doing Zod and the Suicide Squad from the second movie or first. I don't care now. Just give me whatever you could, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I would say 9 out of 10 just because those things probably won't happen, and you're not going to have a really total 100% complete thing, but it's so impressive about what we've gotten so far with McFarlane and the movie stuff. I just don't think Mattel is going to be able to match this, and I really am like, I'm just kind of like, man, like this is so perfect. There's no way that they're going to beat this. There's just no way. And I can't imagine Mattel pumping out all these vehicles, redoing a lot of figures from old movies. I just don't see it happening. So this is something I would not skip on. Now, this is for the video games. Apologies. This may have some DC Direct stuff in here. But for video games, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10 because McFarlane kind of released these, and, he did release a few figures, like a wave or two, whatever, some exclusives. And you get some figures, but, in the end, it's not going to complete anything, especially if you don't have the DC Direct stuff. I mean, I used the McFarlane's here, but, if you were just starting with it, like Injustice here, like you're not going to have anywhere near a complete roster. The back half here is Storm Collectibles. So you're just going to have like these first batch of characters here, and it's just not going to be really great of a set to look at, to be honest, and may take up some room in your shelf. So 3 out of 10 from me. Now let's just say DC Universe as a whole. I would give it probably a 7 out of 10. There is a lot of characters, a lot of range here, but there's also just so many other things missing, and McFarlane only having the license for 5-6 years, it really did hurt the way we could complete this line. There's just so many things that were started, so many things that were great, that could have been. But for the DC universe, like if you just want to like say, hey, got like all these characters, like kind of how I'm doing right now, I would give it a 9 out of 10. You do got a lot of stuff out there. Did I say 9? I meant 8. I meant 8. I just realized. Yeah, 8 out of 10. And I'm like, you know what? There's just so many characters that could have been made, and I think McFarlane just probably had that taken away from him too soon. So yeah, guys, that is it for this video. We went through the McFarlane collection. Hopefully it gives you guys some idea where you want to go with your collection, whether you want to buy those figures or not, you know, or just wait till Mattel gets it back. Let's see what happens there, right? So maybe they'll have something good to offer us there with their line. But yeah, guys, and before we end the video, I just wanted to thank you guys, old subscribers, new subscribers. We made it to 3.5K. So I was very happy to see that. I didn't really think, I mean, honestly, I thought 2,000 was going to be the highest I could have reached. But after a few years of keep going and some breaks in between, you know, we got here. So, and hopefully we can keep growing. And I hope to grow this channel more when Mattel gets the license, but we'll see where that goes in the future. McFarlane didn't want to really work with me too much. So, you know what? I hope you guys did enjoy this video though. So like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.